I'm having trouble breathing, like it's pretty serious, I gotta call the doctor. He said, Marina, your levels are through the roof. Like you have mycoplasma, it's a really bad bacteria, it's in your lungs. And he says, in my 25 years of being a doctor, I've never seen levels this high.
And the antibiotics weren't helping?
Zero, not at all. I started to get a parasitic infection. So now I'm dealing with fungi, bad bacteria, and parasites. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get through this?
Welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast, presented by Jigsaw Health, where we share health horror stories that inspire. Today's guest is Marina Ortega. Marina's personal health journey began with chronic mold exposure and parasite infections that ignited her passion to help herself and others heal from the inside out.
Before we dive in, just a quick note. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. So please always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health routine.
This is the Rock Bottom Podcast. Marina Ortega, thank you so much for being here on the Rock Bottom Podcast. We're thrilled to have you, and thank you for being willing to share your incredible story. Take us back to the moment that you recall really feeling like you were at your rock bottom, and what led you there.
It was when I was not able to breathe. We went up north to Flagstaff, and obviously we go up there all the time. But there was this moment where I was like, wait, I'm having trouble breathing. Like it's pretty serious. I got to call the doctor. So I called him right away, and he said, Marina, there's a really bad bacteria going around. And I said, okay, well, what do I do? And he said, a lot of people are getting misdiagnosed, but it's actually mycoplasma and it's walking pneumonia. And I said, okay. So we ran my blood. He called me back. He said, Marina, your levels are through the roof. Like you have mycoplasma. It's a really bad bacteria and it's in your lungs. Hence the reason why you can't breathe. And I thought, okay, well, what do I do? Like, do I need to go to the emergency room? Like it was just getting worse and worse and worse. He said, first of all, get out of the elevation and come back down to the valley. And so I did, and we tried inhalers. We tried the nebulizer. Like I literally was just like, I can't breathe.
Like an elephant on your chest kind of thing?
Very heavy. It was very heavy. I just felt suppressed. Nothing was working. So he says, well, you're going to have to go on antibiotics for 22 days. I'm going to give you some steroids for 3 days. I thought, okay. And it just kept getting worse and worse to the point now where I'm like bedridden, where I'm like, okay, I'm a couple weeks now. I've been bedridden. Like something's got to give. So he said,
and the antibiotics weren't helping?
Zero, not at all. And apparently mycoplasma, the bacteria forms like a gel around it, so it's really hard to kill. And he even said this, it's really tough to kill. And I thought, okay. So I was, 2 weeks into it, and he says, you have this mycoplasma, you've got this mold test that you purchased a while ago. Why don't we run the mold and mycotoxin test? I said, great, let's do it. I'm desperate at this point, right? I want answers. I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything about mold. And he calls me back and he says, in my 25 years of being a doctor, I've never seen levels this high. I said, oh, okay, what do I do now? And he says, so now you're dealing with the bad bacteria, and then you got the mold, the fungus, and it's not any mold. I mean, black mold is the worst mold you can possibly get, especially when it gets into your lungs. So now I've got all this stuff going on in my lungs. I still couldn't breathe. I'm on day 22. I'm looking at him going, what do I do now? I'm desperate, help. And he's like, let's switch up the antibiotic for another 22 days. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've been on antibiotics since I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like 42 days into the antibiotics and nothing really was working, to be honest. So throughout that time, I looked at my husband, Steve. I said, we got to start talking to doctors. Like, what are we going to do? Like, I got to get black mold out of my lungs. And it's super hard to get rid of. Typically, it'll take 2 to 7 years to get rid of black mold.
Like in a building?
Out of your lungs, out of your body, out of your system. So the black mold is now in my lungs, basically. And we couldn't figure out where it was. So doctors really don't want to treat you until you find the source. Because if, like, say it was in our home and I'm going to keep going into the house, I'm going to keep getting re-exposed. So why start trying to detox prior to that, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do now? And so Steve said, let's go to a couple doctors, some of the best doctors in town. Let's see what they say. So we were getting quotes from anywhere from $30,000, $50,000 to $90,000 cash just to kind of get this detoxing from black mold out of my lungs.
Okay, and what is this process? Like, that's a ton of money, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's no guarantee.
Of course.
Yeah. And we thought,
what kind of modalities are included in a package like that?
A lot of them, it was a hyperbaric chamber doing high doses of vitamin C, glutathione, nebulizing like bee pollen. I mean, there were so many different things in these plants, a ton of supplements, obviously colonics, coffee enemas, all of the things. There's just a lot of stuff, and like I would have to spend like 15 to 17 hours a week, detoxing with these doctors. And I thought at this point, I'm desperate. I can't breathe. So I'm like, I don't care, Steve. We have to figure this out, And he says, why don't we start off with our wellness center? So, we own Scottsdale Hydrotherapy. It's a wellness center here in Scottsdale, Arizona. We have colonics. We've got ozone therapy, the ozone sauna, lymphatic drainage. We have all of the things. And I thought, okay, let's start there. So
you hadn't been doing any of that?
Oh, I was doing that the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing it the whole time. I was doing that the whole time. He said, can we just keep doing this? Like, let's, you're making a little bit of progress every day. You're feeling a little bit better every day. Let's continue to keep using these wellness tools that we have at our wellness center, as well as coffee enemas. And castor oil packs were huge. I'm still doing coffee enemas. I'm still doing castor oil packs. I'm still detoxing from mold. I mean, we're about 1 year and 3 months into it.
Okay. So it's not that long ago that this all came to a head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say this, we tested 7 months into me having black mold and my levels came down by half. And that's really significant. A lot of people can't say that, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're telling me it takes 2 to 7 years and I'm down to half within 7 months. And I really would say that colon hydrotherapy, it saved my life. Colonics did, coffee enemas did, castor oil packs did. So it doesn't have to be that expensive. I feel like Steve and I really did like a DIY, do-it-yourself kind of protocol. We did incorporate the hyperbaric chamber in it. I did high doses of vitamin C with glutathione pushes for several weeks. But then that got super expensive too. So...
Yeah. So when Steve said, let's use some of the modalities we have access to, let's turn it up a bit.
That's right.
And add a few more things. So at this point, you were still bedridden. You said, all right, let's do it before we spend our life savings on these packages. Yeah. And how far into that DIY protocol that you did you actually start to see changes?
I was bedridden for close to about 3 months. When I say bedridden, like I would get up and show up for 45 minutes, but I have to go lay back down for like 4 hours. And then I'd get up and go show up, for another hour. And then it was just, I couldn't breathe. It was just, I felt like I was dying. It got to the point where in those first 3 months, I said, Steve, we don't even have a living will yet. Like we need to get everything dialed in, buttoned up. Like I literally thought like, I don't know what's going to happen. It was that bad. It was super scary. The thing about mold is I feel like it's a silent epidemic that no one talks about. Like, where do you start? Where do you navigate? Like who do you go to?
And there's really no magic pill. There's no like, oh, everybody knows if you have mold, then you just do this.
That's right.
It's like the wild, wild west of, I don't know what to do. And there are experts that will have recommendations, but there's just no tried and true, right?
Well, there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about, cash, 30,000, 90,000 cash, I mean, you're right. It's life savings, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, we can't do that right now. Let's try to do what we have. The colon hydrotherapy, the HOCATT, the ozone sauna, the lymphatic drainage. And my immune system was so suppressed from the mold that I started to get a parasitic infection. So around month 3, I started to detox from parasites because I saw parasites coming out of me and I thought, oh my gosh. So now I'm dealing with fungi, bad bacteria, and parasites. So, and I'm still detoxing from parasites. I'm still seeing parasites that are even like this long, like huge.
Wow.
I'm seeing like nests coming out of me. Like it's so crazy what's coming out of me. And they thrive in an environment that's suppressed when your immune system's down. I mean, they love that, right? It's just I'm their host. They have to have a host, just like the black mold. And so I had all these 3 things going on at one time. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this?
So what did you do for the parasite part of things? How are you detoxing from that? Is it a different protocol for those?
Mm-hmm. I started doing several different ones. I started off with Cell Core's parasitic cleanse that they have. It's fantastic. I did that for several months. And then I just got to the point where I started trying different ones. And then I just kind of looked at Steve and said, this is like so expensive. Like they're $250, $300, $150. And then I'm taking like 25 to 32 supplements. And you just get to a point, I was already taking supplements for mold. I mean, I was taking like 50 supplements a day. Yeah. So you get to a point, you're like, I just don't want to take all these supplements, right? Yeah. It was just too much.
And that's a lot on your body to ask of a body that's already struggling to just do what it does. Like,
And I think
with
our
the
body
immunity.
can naturally, it can naturally detoxify. There's no question. But when you get hit with all of these things like the black mold, the walking pneumonia, the parasites, it's like your system's on such overload, right? Where it needs a little bit of help. Like the liver needs a little bit of a help because everything it got to a point where my liver enzymes were through the roof where the doctor's like, whoa, these are super high, like not good high. I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I started to do more. I amped up my coffee enemas because coffee enemas are great because they're going to increase the glutathione. So they're great for they're great for liver cleansing is what they're good for. And I don't think a lot of people know that. So the coffee is going through your rectum, shooting through your hepatic portal valve, and your liver it processes the blood every 4 minutes, almost like dialysis. So the coffee is shooting up. It's not going through your digestive system at all. So you're not going to get like a coffee buzz, but the palmitic acid in it is going to activate the glutathione and open up the bile ducts. And think about bile like a little dump truck, like it's going to dump those toxins out, like get the bile flowing and moving, right? And it's going to really increase the glutathione, our master antioxidant, by 500 to 700%, which is amazing, right? So I think black mold was, the way the doctor explained it, was black mold, you're purging so much out of your little liver that already has so much to do, which is with the daily toxins that, keep up with the coffee enemas, keep doing what you're doing. I said, all right, let's do this. I'm going to do this for 3 weeks. It's kind of beta test this. And we did. We tested my liver enzymes. He's like, oh my gosh, you're back to normal. I'm like,
all right, coffee for the win. Not in the way you might think.
That's right. That's right. So it's the palmitic acid in the coffee that separates regular coffee from coffee. So you definitely have to use a coffee enema, which we have one.
Yes.
And we've created one now.
Yes. You're like, let's create all the things that I needed.
Yeah. And that's actually what we did. So our sister company is Trust Your Gut. And I wanted really to bring in wellness tools that were affordable, high quality, that people could start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because every day people are saying, Marina, like, where do I start? I don't have the money. And so hence the reason why we created our anti-parasitic teas. So that's all I drink now for my parasite cleansing. I'll do that, incorporate a binder.
And so good. I did get a chance to try a couple of them.
Good.
And it's like, you don't think of them. I mean, there's just a yummy iced tea, basically, is all it tastes like.
Yeah.
Or hot.
Yeah. And it's a really powerful blend that'll help get rid of parasites. But I mean, I still take a daily binder as well, But yeah, I'm constantly detoxing and helping my liver because when your immune system is so suppressed, you have to keep your liver as clean as possible and just kind of keep everything moving and dumping out. My body's still not able to really truly detox by itself, so it needs that little extra support. So I'm doing all of the modalities still after a year and 3 months into it. I've just backed off a little bit because I was pretty aggressive at first, obviously, because I thought I'm dying, I can't breathe,
So I'm guessing alcohol is completely off the table for, you're like, no, I'm supporting my liver. I'm not doing anything to hinder my liver.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to when you first did the mold test. Do you recall what kind of test that was? How did they determine?
The test that we took, I think it was called the mycotoxin test.
Okay.
And I'm glad you asked that. That was a great place to start. Then I went on to another doctor, another naturopathic friend of mine, and she said, let's take another one that's a little bit more advanced. And I didn't know anything about this. There's a more advanced, I don't remember the name of that test, but it dialed down and showed more percentage, like the percentage of each mold level. And it was just really dialed down. It was much more detailed. I loved it.
Was it blood, urine?
Blood.
Okay, blood test that dialed down the types of mycotoxins, type of mold.
Yeah.
And where did you determine that the source of mold was coming from?
It was probably about 7 months into my journey. Yeah, that's a great question. We couldn't find it. We tested our home twice, our office, everything.
When you say you tested the home, how did you do that?
We actually had, there's companies that will come out to your house and it's more of an air quality, or you can do a dust testing as well.
Yeah.
So the ERMI one, and then there's so many kinds of tests, right? And that's another confusing thing. Like, where do I start? Like, who's legit?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear mongering out there. I faced a lot of fear mongering with doctors, with people wanting to test our home, all of the things. And I learned a lot through that process. And the test, I would say now looking back, I would do a mold dog. We just recently had a mold dog come to our house.
Mold dog? Is that literally a dog?
Yeah. It's
like we have here on the couches with us?
Yeah,
These are snuggle dogs.
Yes.
Snuggle
they have
dogs,
mold dogs.
not mold dogs.
Yeah,
So kind of like a drug dog
That's right.
is trained to sniff for cocaine and what have you.
That's exactly.
A mold dog. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's mold dog nose, and they came out.
Wait, mold dog and
K-N-O-W-S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whole
And
dog knows.
the company
Is that
came-
only in Phoenix here?
No, actually, they're based out of Las Vegas. And she does the whole Southwest territory. So she'll fly in her dog and her trainer to come in and do it. So like when she came to see me in Scottsdale, she was here for like 3 days and had like 15 to 20 other homes to test for.
Oh, gosh.
But looking back, I would do mold dogs because they can quickly identify it within like less than 30 minutes. It blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And when the guy came in to do the air quality test, getting back to that test that we had him do, it took like 6 weeks, 7 weeks to get back. And I didn't understand. It wasn't a quick turnaround time.
Well, probably because they're taking samples, sending them to a lab, waiting for the lab to get reporting back.
Yeah, and they're
that
busy.
That would be my guess.
Yeah,
and they're busy. So
yeah.
And meanwhile, you feel
samples
like you're
just
about to
sit there.
die and
Correct.
just begging for question or answers.
Well, and I'm scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, we can't start treatment until we get the test back.
Yeah.
Because what if it's in our home, right?
Meanwhile, you're bedridden.
That's right.
In
For
your
6
home,
weeks,
wondering
waiting.
if this is the thing that's actually killing me.
Oh, I went to a whole psychological level. Like, oh my gosh, there's mold in my Yeti cup. It's in our sink. It's in the toilet. We got to check the washer and
fear, the
dryer.
stress.
Like it just went on. And Steve's like, because you're really scared, right? Like, I'm like, am I living in it? Is it in our air ducts? So there was definitely mentally this emotional part where it really took a toll, not only on me, but my partner, Steve.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, can you kind of relax? Meanwhile, I'm like, I can't breathe.
I can't even breathe.
Yeah, it's just horrific to see your spouse like that.
So Mold Dog Nose came in after the fact. So after you must have gotten some inconclusive test results back.
Yeah,
From the other.
She came in. So let's backtrack to answer your question. 7 months into the mold exposure, we realized that it came from a gym. I was steaming in the steam room probably 4 to 5 days out of the week. It was a very older gym. I'm not going to disclose what gym it was. But the environmental scientists that I work with said, Marina, steam rooms are notorious for mold, black mold. I went, oh my gosh, I love to steam. Like I am a steam girl. Like I love to steam. So I said, oh.
But take a pause here right now, audience, and think about like if you're going to any steam room
right.
in any gym, that could potentially be the source of mold because that's the perfect environment, right? That
warm, dark. Yeah. And I will say this, like, again, this isn't like a fear mongering thing, but it's like, just look at, if you're going to the gym, even if a lot of people have home steam rooms.
Steam showers,
just look at them. Like really make sure they're clean. Like really inspect the steam shower that you're going into is what I would say.
And especially if you have a home one, I would say have it checked at least every once a year.
Oh, at least.
Maybe more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good to know.
Did you take the dog to the gym with you?
So no. So the reason, the way I found it was I would notice that the steam room, the border of the steam room going into it had black mold. And to be honest, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to steam. Sometimes I just go in there and only have time to steam and do abs. And I'd walk in there and be like, this is kind of gross, but I just did it. I just went in there and steamed. I'm like, you know what? I'm here to be healthy. I'm showing up today. I was so excited, but kind of grossed out. But I was like, I'm just going to get this done, checked off the list. And then I'd come back and then the border of the steam room was all brand new, like plywood around it. And then it was really when I was 7 months into it, I was like, now that I think about it, it had to have been the steam room. So no, I can't go back into once you find that you have mold somewhere, mold has spores. So it's going to be everywhere else throughout the house, typically is how it works. It doesn't just kind of stay in just the steam room. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do remediation and get rid of it completely. When I was bedridden, we literally had about $17,000 worth of commercial grade HOCATT is the brand, HOCATT. And
HITECH.
Yep, and they were filters. And it was a client of mine that almost died 2 years ago of black mold. When she heard my story, when she found out I was sick, she called me up and was like, let me bring these to your house. I thought, okay, great.
Air purifiers, basically? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they're
And
more
she
commercial
had
grade.
some,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got like 15 to 20 of them. I mean, she almost died of black mold.
Wow.
It was very, very serious as well. So she said, just borrow these for a little bit. The first 2 things that you need to do, she told me, was you need to drink clean water and you need clean air. And that made such a significant difference. I mean, we already had reverse osmosis, right? But now we're getting shipped in spring water.
Where do you get your water shipped in from?
We get it from Sparklets, but we get the spring water.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
the
cheap.
glass, not
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, this is my health. So
Yeah.
that's what we do. We cleaned up our water. I thought our water was already clean. Most water we found has uranium in it. So I'm thinking, wow, especially here in Arizona.
even with reverse osmosis.
Absolutely. Which I was frightened.
How do you test your water to make sure what you're drinking at home is clean?
There's different kits that they will send out to you. There's different companies, and you can have them ship out the kit, and then they'll get the lab results within like 2 weeks and ship them back to you. So
Any
there's
specific brand that you
I
recommend?
can't
or-
think of one right
Okay.
now.
Do a quick Google, I guess.
Brain
I'm sure that
fog
it'll
is what
come up.
happens when you get black mold as well. So
Yeah.
the brain fog was really bad, quite frightening. Actually, I couldn't remember a lot of things because it's just taking a toll on my body.
Well, when your body's in fight or flight like that,
That's right.
there's no blood going to your brain anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been really scary for Steve to try to be the rock in the relationship and like, hey, it's gonna be okay, but also meanwhile he's scared.
Yeah.
And just that's a lot to manage.
Well, you're trying to navigate everything, right? I'm listening to this person. I'm reading this book. I'm talking
Yeah.
to this person. It's scary and it's frightening. I didn't know who to trust, who's doing fear mongering, like who's legit, what companies should I use? I mean,
Yeah.
even for water, things like that.
so overwhelming.
So the mold dog, you brought that in and came to check out your house, but
Emily came with her dog, Baby. It's the mold dog.
did Baby find any mold at your house? No. And that must have been really frustrating.
I was excited about it because I was like, thank God, I know we're not living in it. That would be our third time that we tested our home because the 2 air quality tests that were done in our home where they come and test for the air on the outside and inside, they were all negative.
Okay.
And then so I was like, okay, I had a peace of mind. It's not in our house, but I still didn't know where it was from.
That's when you started to think about the gym.
Okay, so essentially you had 3 total tests to confirm, okay, at least our house is safe.
Yep.
But you also said, I think that you did did you do remediation or no?
No,
I
we
feel
didn't
like-
have to, thank
okay,
God.
okay.
And that's a whole different topic. I mean, remediation is when they have to extract the black mold or extract the mold out of a home, right? 50% of the homes and commercial buildings have black mold. There was a
Here
study.
in Phoenix?
Yep.
Yeah, Phoenix is kind of notorious for black mold.
Yeah. Like it's so bad. Like I try not to go into a lot of buildings because I'm in fear now that I'm going to get re-exposed to the black mold. Like especially grocery stores are notorious. Unfortunately, they have the wet, damp, kind of dark areas where the veggies are and stuff. So the more stuff I can get shipped in, the better off I am, to be honest.
And you're saying once you have the black mold, even being in those environments for short periods of time can really flare
Absolutely.
up symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
because I can sometimes hear it in my chest where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I even have like tightness sometimes where I'm like, okay. So,
You can sense that it's around.
and it's really common. I mean, a lot of people, it's common. I mean, there's like 1,000 different mold types, but I think there's like 5 or 6 that are the really bad ones that if you do get it into your body, it can wipe you out. I mean, that's what it wants to do. It wants to take you down. Like, I mean, there's no magic pill for it on the market at all. That's what blew me away. It's like you kind of have to piece this together yourself. Like everyone's like, yeah, we're just going to have to just kind of trust this process or that process on your healing journey. And I'm like, so there's no real prescription to go say, okay, you need to take this now. Or there's no real protocol that I found. So
Have you ever heard of EBOO? I mean, it's
Yeah.
What does it stand for exactly?
I'm not sure what it stands for, but
It's ozone therapy on steroids, basically.
yeah, they're taking, I think, a couple quarts of your blood out, whipping it through ozone and putting it back into you.
Yeah.
And that is something I'd like to do.
You haven't tried that?
I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
I would love to try that. So that'll be next here in the next couple of months. And you usually want to do like 3 different rounds of it.
Yeah.
And I think I'll notice a significant difference if I do that. Absolutely.
I've heard really good things. So if you could give advice to yourself, knowing what you know now in the mold situation, and let's just say someone just discovered they have this, they have no idea where to start, like give a couple of simple, like start here tips.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say clean air, clean water. So whether you just get a bottle that has a little filter on it, start there. If you can't afford a whole home system or even the reverse osmosis, just figure out how to get clean water.
Okay.
I would say that.
What's an example of that? Like literally a bottle that you carry around for your personal water?
Yeah.
There's filters in it?
Yeah, there's some really great ones on the market out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it has like a little filter that to help purify water. Think about it. We go camping and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or with the streams and whatnot. So there's some great ones out there. So I would say start there. Try to get an air purifier of some sort, so you can have purified, clean air. That would be important. I would say try to detox with coffee enemas. Those work tremendously for me. Not only that, but the castor oil packs as well helped as well. Castor oil packs are going to also help with liver detoxification. And those are inexpensive. I mean, you can get one for like $30. Same with the whole coffee enema kit. So
a castor oil pack is essentially you get a bottle of the castor oil,
Yep.
and then it's like this kind of almost looks like a large bandage that you tie around
Yep.
yourself. So you put it on like the oil directly on your liver, and then you put the pack around it so that it kind of holds that in place and it can soak into your skin, right?
yeah, castor oil is real powerful because the compound is rinosylic acid. It's like a really fatty omega, like rich omega-6 or 9. And so once you put the castor oil on your castor oil pack and then put it on you, like you said, you put it right here on your stomach area, and on the right area is right where the liver is. And then you put a heating pad on top of it. Now it's going to activate the castor oil, and it's like going to seep into the tissues and get things moving. Castor oil is very anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. It creates movement. Circulation is what it's doing. So it's going to kind of open up those bile ducts to get that bile transporting out and clearing out the liver as well. It's great for constipation, cramps, all kinds of things.
How do you feel about someone putting that directly on their skin and then just getting in the sauna for 20, 30 minutes or however long?
I think that's
For the heat activation.
Yeah, I think
you wouldn't
it's,
even need to do the castor oil pack.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do that when I get into the sauna. Just put a little bit of castor oil
definitely.
on there. Okay.
I will just say this: be careful because castor oil will stain your clothes or your bedding. That's
Yeah.
it. But it's powerful. It's a really great healing tool, in my opinion.
And it's something easy. You can just do at your house every day.
Yes.
Just it's basically just like do as many of those as you can. It's just kind of a slow and steady thing that you can do.
Yeah. So again, I mean, clean air, clean water. Castor oil packs were great for me. Coffee enemas were great for me because they were helping me purge all that out of my liver quickly. And all of this was for under a couple $100.
Let's talk about a coffee enema. This sounds very intimidating for someone who has not done enemas or even like knows how to do it, basically. Like, what do you recommend for someone that's like, all right, I'm supposed to do this, but I'm scared and also nervous, and where do I even get one?
Give us the coffee enema 101.
Yes.
Well, I'm the founder of Trust Your Gut, and we've actually created a coffee enema kit. We also have USDA coffee, which is really important. A lot of people are buying coffee that's not USDA organic, and I'll say this: you're putting coffee up your butt. Let's make sure it's not contaminated,
Yes.
and let's make sure it's USDA organic, third-party tested, and tested for mold, right? So that's really, really important. It was for us when we created it. A coffee enema, what you're doing basically is you're going to go into your bathroom. First of all, you're going to brew your coffee, and you're going to take it into your bathroom, and then you're going to fill up your enema bag with the coffee, basically.
You're going to let it cool down, right?
Yes. Room temperature. Thank you for
Room
bringing that.
temp. Okay.
Room temp. Yeah.
Do not put hot
So this is
coffee
not-
in
yeah.
your enema bag.
Yeah, and this is not the coffee grounds. This is like a cup
brewed
of
coffee.
coffee. Yeah, the
Yeah.
brewed coffee.
You
right.
will actually you'll plunge it with a French press because you don't want to put coffee grounds up your butt either.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So, and then make sure it's like kind of room temperature.
Yeah.
And then you'll fill up your enema bag. And then you'll go into your bathroom and then you'll do your coffee enema. Basically, what you're doing is you're going to put the rectal nozzle, it's a small rectal nozzle, into your rectum. And there's a little valve that turns the coffee enema bag on and off. And so you'll turn it on and it'll start to go into your rectum, and it's going to basically shoot up through the hepatic portal valve. And then it's going to basically, the palmatic acid in it is going to dilate the liver really and start dumping out all of the bile and start transporting out all of these toxins. It's actually stimulating is what it's doing. The caffeine is waking it up. It's also waking up the glutathione, which your body naturally makes, right? So that's your glutathione, your master antioxidant. So it's going to increase that by 500 to 700%. So you will hold the coffee about 10 to 15 minutes. Because remember, your blood's filtering every 4 minutes. So again, kind of like dialysis, where that coffee is just going in there and cleansing. So anywhere from 4 to 15 minutes, you'll try to hold the coffee, and then you'll get up and go to the toilet and evacuate, basically, let it go, right? So like a lot of people can only start off the first 5 minutes or maybe even 4 minutes or 7 minutes. I always say celebrate the small successes, and you'll eventually kind of graduate up to it. So just celebrate that you were able to hold it for 5 minutes, go to the toilet, evacuate, and then you can go back, try it again. And each time it'll get better and better.
Is this something you recommend doing daily, or how often?
When detoxing from black mold, I was doing it 3 to 4 times a week. I will say make sure you do increase your electrolytes. So I would say increase electrolytes, make sure you're drinking lots of water, make sure you're getting lots of fresh juice as well.
And not just plain filtered water. That does not have electrolytes, and that can make it worse, right?
Yes. And you definitely want to use distilled water when doing a coffee enema because you don't want the water to have any contamination. So distilled water is one of the number one things. Worst case, you can boil it for about 15 minutes, but you do want clean water when doing coffee enemas for sure. And then, I mean, you guys have Jigsaw electrolytes. They're fantastic. So you want to remineralize, definitely.
Yep. We know where to get those.
Yeah. It's a great product, by the way.
Thank
Got
you.
some right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Question going back to something that you said a few minutes ago about when you were seeing parasites. So maybe be a little bit TMI and tell us a little bit about seeing
When did
parasites.
those show up?
When did those show up and how did you see them?
I will, to be honest, I've been parasite cleansing for decades. I have been. So, but it got really bad when I got exposed to the black mold. And you can literally see them. Like when you poop, you can like see them in your poop. I mean, you will see them.
What is your Instagram handle?
Marina the Poop Fairy.
See.
Yeah. So you can follow us at Marina the Poop Fairy. We're going to talk about poop and constipation and parasites all day long.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
question. We just have to kind of break that taboo about people. People are dealing with constipation,
Yes.
and a lot. When you have black mold, you tend to get more constipated. So I started going through constipation and I was doing colonics and that helped tremendously. But a lot of people don't talk about that. You can't not go to the bathroom, not poop for a week, right? You're going to become highly toxic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have 365 million Americans, 110 million are dealing with constipation. That's 1 out of every 3. So we need to start talking about poop habits, bathroom habits, and things like that much more. But I think if you have a pulse, you probably have parasites. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose, but I mean, I've been in the industry for well over 30 years and I'm seeing it all. People are sending me pictures of parasites that are coming out of them. I mean, some are like 2 feet long. Some are microscopic. Some look like black pepper chili flakes. Like you can't see them.
And so many people think that you can only get parasites if you go to a foreign country and you drink bad water, and they think that's the only way that you're getting them. But got news for you.
Yeah,
there are lots of parasites right here in the U.S., and you can get them from many, many different sources, right?
Yeah. What's shocking is that most third world countries will actually give for free like an anti-parasitic tablet that you can take, or when the children are in school, they'll give them like an anti-parasitic tablet. There's many countries that do that. We don't do that. I don't know why. And it's in a lot of raw fish and sushi. I mean, you're not going to catch me eating that. There's no way.
Yeah.
Not when you see them coming out of you,
No.
right? Where it's like, okay,
That
time
would
out.
definitely make you think twice about your sushi.
Yeah.
Weird question. But
Yeah.
what do they look like?
That's a really good question. Like I said, they could look like just even pepper flakes, red chili flakes. They truly do. Some do look like a tapeworm, like a long tapeworm, or they can look like a white rope, kind of like a rope that's just kind of wrapped around your poop, basically. Yeah.
So anything that looks a little foreign could be it.
It could be it. Yeah.
Do you think that if someone were to just start drinking your tea, your anti-parasitic tea, just like on a regular basis, like 1 or 2 cups a day, could that be enough, even though it's a gentle way to approach it, to like kind of manage or get rid of any parasites that might be there? I think it's another thing that's very intimidating for people is like, well, I bought this parasite cleanse that's been sitting in my pantry for months because I'm like, I'm scared to do this. I don't know. It just feels like a lot. But I can drink a tea every day. And, that feels like much more like a gentle way to approach it.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. The only thing I would do is I would incorporate a binder, and I'd also incorporate Mimosa pudica. And that's like a seed. It's like a gut scrubber. It's kind of like a gelatiny seed is the best way for me to explain it. And it kind of expands, and I just call it a gut scrubber. It just goes in there and kind of helps grab and pull stuff out.
Is it a tablet or what is it?
It's a supplement.
It's a supplement.
Yeah.
And what's it called again?
Mimosa pudica.
Mimosa.
Yeah.
MIMOSA
ICA.
Yeah.
Mimosa pudica.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. I mean, I love it for detoxing.
That's the binder?
Yeah.
Or the scrubber you call it?
It was a gut scrubber. It's still, I think, look at it as a binder as well. And then obviously I like a biotoxin binder is what I would take. But these are all the things that have worked for me. I mean, everyone's kind of doing their own thing. I kind of did a DIY. It's working for me. It's working for a lot of friends and family members and clients. They're trying it out. It's working. So, yeah.
I just, to be careful about telling people, like, try all these things all at once and like take the binders and without any supervision from any kind of doctor or healthcare professional, of course, that can be too much on a system. And like,
Definitely.
and all of a sudden you're taking all these binders and doing all these detoxes and your body's like flushing out all the minerals that you need. Right.
Yeah.
And you're not replenishing properly. So just, of course, this is not medical advice for anyone listening. Be careful with doing too much at once.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ashley, too. I would say work with your practitioner, get with your practitioner, talk to them about colonics, coffee enemas, talk to them about all of the things. There's no question. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose, but these are some of the things and tools that I have used along my health journey, and they've worked really well. But I think, what I see now, too, is people are just doing too much. I mean, we see thousands of clients, every single month. And I feel like, to your point, people are trying this shiny star off of TikTok. There's all these trends going off out there. And like, for example, this girl hadn't pooped in 2 weeks and she's like, Marina, I'm on a parasite cleanse. And I thought, what are you doing? Right? I think the number one thing, the advice I'd give people is make sure to open up your detox pathways, your drainage pathways before any type of cleanse or any type of detox, because people are walking around out there not pooping for a week to 2 weeks. Now they're trying to do a cleanse. It's going to recirculate. Your body's going to hurt. It's going to get super bloated, not feel well. And you're trying to eliminate poop, pee, sweat, all of those toxins and things out, right? Typically when you're doing a cleanse. Well, if you're not pooping, that's your drainage. I mean, that's the main drainage pathway to get it out of your system. So I'm a big believer in opening up your detox pathways, drainage pathways. You can do that.
What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, there's free ways. You can walk, get movement, right? You want to get that lymphatic system, which is our drainage system, really to open up. So
Rebounder.
yes, that's perfect.
Lymphatic drainage massages.
Red light sauna.
So
infrared.
just make sure your digestion is going as it should
Moving, flowing, dumping, draining, sweating,
Yes.
all of the things.
before doing any kind of a cleanse. So to
Well,
speak.
magnesium is a
Yes.
great mineral for creating that peristaltic action. So,
Yeah, it is.
We like to talk about it as like calcium and magnesium are like two kids on a teeter-totter. And if there's too much calcium and not enough magnesium, it's stuck. There is no movement. There is essentially constipation is one of the signs of magnesium deficiency. So introducing a good form of magnesium can help to create the peristaltic action and reactivate that in the GI tract.
That's right. And Jigsaw has a great one. You guys have formulated a really great one. And that's one of the things I recommend to people taking is it's a natural mineral, right? So, and it really jump starts the system. If you are dealing with constipation, it will create that peristalsis, kind of that wave-like motion saying, okay, wake up, let's go. So it definitely helps for sure.
Well, I didn't mean to set you up like that, but that was perfect.
Just
Thank
saying.
you.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm curious, the client that was on a cleanse and hadn't pooped for 2 weeks, what finally got her over the edge?
Colonics.
Colonics.
Yeah. And she was doing distilled water enemas because she was on a budget and she really couldn't afford a lot. So I said, well, you can always do a distilled water enema. You don't have to start with a coffee enema. As a matter of fact, if you're not pooping, I wouldn't even start off with a coffee enema. I would start off with a distilled water enema and
Just
do it at home.
adding water into the GI tract rectally.
Yes, because what you're trying to do is that water is going to go into your rectum, which is your large intestine, and it's like this gentle cleanse, basically, right? Highly filtered water. It's a gentle cleanse, and believe it or not, your colon can hold anywhere from 30 to 32 pounds of poop. I mean, it's 5 to 6 feet long, so you can hold 5 pounds.
God, that reel's going to go viral.
Yeah, I mean, you can hold a lot of poop.
Wow. Not that you should,
No,
but
you
you
don't want
can.
to.
And
Yeah.
she's seen it all.
Well, I mean, Elvis's autopsy, he had 32 pounds. I mean, it's all over in documentaries and stuff. When they just autopsy, he had 32 pounds of poop. So it's real. I mean, constipation's real. I feel like that's another silent epidemic that no one's talking about, and we need to break the norm and start talking about bathroom habits. I had a model that came in, this guy, a couple weeks ago, and I always ask people, I said, hey, Carson, how often do you poop? And he's like, well, every 4 days. And I said, no, you're kidding me, right? And he goes, no, I'm dead serious. And he goes, I've never had anyone to talk to about this topic, Marina. I'm not kidding. I said, well, you're dealing with chronic constipation. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, my Instagram feed, it looks like a chick's because it's all, pooping and detoxing and all of the things. And the really cool story about this is that I said, all right, let's do a colonic. So he was game. He did it, had a great session. Texted me 2 weeks later and goes, I've been pooping twice every day since that colonic. I was like, yes.
Oh, he must feel so much better.
So much better.
And no one wants to talk about poop.
Nobody
let's be
does.
honest.
So even one colonic can be enough to sort of reset the system, at least in
For
his
him,
case.
yeah. For him. Usually when
Did
you're
he do any sort of dietary change or?
Nope, he did the same thing. I asked him that question. He's like, nope, I didn't do anything. I just did that colonic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
it's-
Yeah, you said 1 in 3 people, 1 in 3 Americans are suffering from constipation.
I wonder how many, what are the stats on Americans that are also low in like minerals like magnesium?
Well, I mean, the NHANES study from many years ago said it was 2/3 of Americans are chronically deficient in magnesium, meaning they're just not getting the recommended daily intake. So it wouldn't be surprised that at least 1 in 3 are constipated.
Yeah.
And what is the recommended daily intake of magnesium?
Well, it's 420 milligrams per day. That's what the minimum dose is. But Mildred Seelig, in her book Magnesium Factor, recommended a formula of 5 milligrams per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, just to make the math easy, that would be 1,000 milligrams a day of magnesium. 5 times 200 from all sources, right?
Yeah.
So,
And-
yeah, it's
And it's hard to eat enough magnesium.
well, yeah, it's not as prevalent in the food supply,
Right.
As we maybe should have it be.
And think about it,
soil.
when we get sick or our immune system gets suppressed, you probably even need a little bit more, I would think. You know
Well,
what I mean? 'Cause-
yes, because magnesium, actually stress burns magnesium at a higher rate. So if you're stressed out or you're not feeling well, your body's just going through magnesium
Yep.
like nobody's business. And
Yep.
people that don't understand or haven't been educated on that specific mineral, which creates energy in the body, it's like this could be a really important thing to add in for most everyone, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. You know what's really interesting is, 90% of the serotonin, the happy hormone, is made in the gut. And then you've got, your 80% of your immune system resides in the gut as well. So when people are dealing with, black mold or constipation, think about what's happening in there. You know what I mean? Even from a hormonal standpoint.
Sure.
Or from an immune, they start wondering why they're getting so sick, and I'm like, well, you haven't pooped in a week or you haven't pooped in 10 days. It's like you're just reabsorbing all these toxins over and over.
So maybe it's not even necessarily the mold that's the worst part of the problem. It's your ability to detox from it, your body's ability to handle those types of toxins and detox them.
Yeah.
So what's at the actual root of the issue, and what do we need to be treating besides trying to get rid of the mold? How do you set your body up for better success moving forward? Because we're getting exposed to toxins
Absolutely.
all over the place. That is life.
Yeah.
So we need to pay attention to how to support the foundation of our bodies so that we can handle those things.
Yeah. I mean, I do infrared sauna every day, right? Because I'm kind of sweating and trying to release stuff. I mean,
For how long and at what temperature?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
At 140 for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about what I've been doing.
Yeah. And I feel so much better afterwards, and I'm like, we're exposed to, I think, like 1,000 toxins per day. And I'm thinking, my poor little liver, right? So anything we can do to help it out. So we love the infrared sauna. I think that helps tremendously. But getting back to your immune system and building it back up, I mean, we're constantly having to do that because we're exposed to so many toxins, right? Whether it's electrolytes, it's the minerals, it's the sweating every day, and really trying to stay on top of it now more than ever.
Getting good sleep,
Yes.
which is hard to do when you're deficient in nutrients.
Yes.
Or you're worried you might be sleeping in a moldy house.
Very
That's
true.
right. Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
One question that we like to ask all our guests is, when you were in the thick of it, your rock bottom moment, if you were to rank how you felt on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what number would you have given yourself when you first were going through the struggles?
Oh, I was at a 0. I mean, I was rock bottom. I mean, writing a living will with my husband, thinking, am I going to make it? Where do we start? There was a lot of fear. I literally didn't know where to start. He didn't know where to start. No one really talks about mold, black mold, I should say. So I would say at a 0, especially when you're bedridden.
Yeah.
I'm real active. I'm on the go all the time. And they're just like, boom, just took me down. And that's what black mold wants to do, just take you down, your entire immune system. It's just throwing off all these, mycotoxins, and it's like it's throwing off this little army, so the mold can actually start to get into, it's fat soluble, so it's the mycotoxins are like hiding into the liver, the colon, in the mucosal lining. So it's bad stuff. But I'm here to say that if I can get through it, I'm sure anyone can get through it. I think I just had to be really patient. I pump myself up every day mentally, and just try to be really positive. I celebrated every little small success, right, each day.
How do you pump yourself up mentally?
I'm a pretty positive person. I always have been. So, and I've got faith and stuff like that. So, I feel like prayer is a big thing for me, pumping me up, and just thank you, God, for my health, really, because, I don't care what you got going. If you don't have your health, you just don't have anything, right? I would say that. Steve and I go on a morning walk. We talk about what we're grateful for. That's how I pump myself up. It's that morning walk with our dog, Carlos, and it's just kind of that pump up session that we kind of go back and forth and talk about things and work through things.
I love that. Get your vitamin D first thing in the morning. We have a similar routine ourselves.
We get moving. We get the body moving. And we're so grateful that we are allowed to have this movement and that we're healthy.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So what would you say your number is on a regular basis these days?
I would say I'm probably at about an 8. I'm not at a 10. I'm at about an 8. And like I said, each day I just keep feeling better and better. So
that's a great number coming from a 0 just a little over a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's incredible.
It's significant, actually.
The progress that you have made is really awesome.
Yeah. And I would say, a lot of people will say, listen, I can't afford to detox from black mold, and I'm clearly living in it. I can see it, and I can't afford to do anything. I hear that often. And what I would say is you can't afford not to. So start somewhere, as simple as, getting sunlight, getting your body moving, right, to help the immune system. And the drainage system. So there's some free things out there that you can definitely do. Of course, if you wanted to start off with the coffee enema kit, Castor pack, those things, ours is under $100. You could easily start off with that and start detoxing, whatever you're going through. You can start somewhere, is what I'm saying. So I want people to know that.
Yes. And where can they go to find you and your shop and what you have to offer?
You can find us at ScottsdaleHydrotherapy.com, and you can find us also at Marina the Poop Fairy, and of course our wellness tools that we've created. It's trustyourgut.shop.
And we will link to all of these in the show notes too for people to get easy access to.
Yes.
Did you have any other questions, Patrick?
Yes, I did, Ashley. If you were to summarize everything that we talked about, if you were to write a book, what would the title of that book be?
Oh gosh, it would probably be something along the line of like open up your drainage system before doing any detox, or drain before you detox or cleanse. Something along that line. I don't think enough people talk about it. People are jumping to cleanses, like I said, and they're not opening up their detox pathways and drainage pathways, and they're
So
just
it's causing
stuck.
more harm than good, actually.
Yeah, and they're wasting their money. Like, don't even do a cleanse if you're not pooping and eliminating and all of that. So it'd be something along that line.
So this goes back to the story of the woman that was doing a cleanse, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But it was all still stuck inside of her because she wasn't eliminating.
Yeah, she hadn't pooped in 2 weeks, and she's like, I'm on this parasite cleanse. And they're so excited about it, right? And I understand, because, again, you're kind of navigating out there by yourself. When they're buying these things off of TikTok, I'm finding that there's not a lot of instructions, or maybe you should have run this by your doctor, or maybe you should run this protocol by, your naturopath or whatever, but they're kind of taking it in their own hands and just doing it.
And I think a lot of people think that the cleanse is going to help them poop.
Yes.
They're like, oh, well, I'll just do a cleanse and that'll help my constipation issue.
Yeah, because they're so desperate.
Yeah.
Because no one's talking about it.
A lot of misinformation out
I
there.
feel like on TikTok, I remember seeing is it a 15-day cleanse or something? And they must have sold 1 million of these bottles. I don't remember the brand, but does anything, you referenced TikTok.
Yeah. That's funny that you say that. It was, it's Kim Rogers. She went viral, and it's Parafy, I think it is.
Yes.
Matter of fact, she just sent me out a couple.
That's the one I bought.
Yeah, she just sent me out a couple kits. So, can you imagine the Worm Queen with the Poop Fairy? So we might do a collab of some sort. I don't know.
It's a magical partnership right there.
I know.
But are you saying that cleanse doesn't necessarily?
I haven't tried it.
Okay.
Well, what she is saying is that any cleanse.
That's right.
It does not matter if you're not eliminating. Be very careful about doing cleanses, because everything is stuck. And if you're doing a cleanse, it stirs everything up, but it's not going anywhere. It's essentially just wreaking havoc in the body.
Yeah. It's making you probably more sick or not feeling well, right?
Yeah.
Because you're reabsorbing the same stuff. I mean, you haven't pooped in 2 weeks. Now you're doing a parasite cleanse. Where are those parasites when they're dying off, where are they going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that you're just
And you
kind
don't
of,
think that cleanse has something to help generate
I don't know.
elimination?
You would think maybe I don't know. There's so many cleanses out there. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
You know,
This is not the first time I've heard some pretty bad horror stories about people that were like, that did a cleanse and that put them into like the worst place they've ever been because of the state of their body and where it was at that time when they started that cleanse. So
yeah. I mean, there's some good ones out there. Like to go back to your point, Patrick. Like, I mean, do they put in like almost like a poop pill or like a magnesium or something?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure they do.
Senna, I think, is like a very common herb that helps to create some laxative type effect.
And maybe it had it in it and it just wasn't working for her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Do you, on that note, do you have any clients that come to you that are like basically dependent on laxatives?
Oh, I mean, big pharma is like taking over the constipation world out there. It really has. I mean, to date, I think they're at 7.5 billion, on track to double it next year.
In the laxative revenue category of big pharma? Wow.
Our clients will say, Marina, I've been on laxatives for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. We see it every single week. And they're like, I don't know what else to do. This is the only way I can go to the bathroom. And I thought what's happening is it's breaking that peristalsis, that wave-like motion. I have a poop window. It's at 7 a.m. It's like, oh, I got to go. My peristalsis is kicked in, right? But they're just like, I never have the urge to go. Like, matter of fact, I don't even remember the last time I went. And I'm like, what? Am I hearing this? She's like, yeah.
You know what? Ironically, do you know what another side effect of the laxative medications is? It is stripping the body of minerals, aka magnesium,
That's right.
aka the poop mineral.
Yep.
If you are constipated, you probably need magnesium. And if you're on medications of any kind, really, it's also stripping your body of magnesium. So even more important to replenish.
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah, pharmacist Susie Cohen years ago in her book Drug Muggers it was like 14 different categories of drugs that will deplete the body of magnesium. I believe we have that on our website still, jigsawhealth.com. We'll put it in the show notes if we do. I'm pretty sure it's there, but it's the most common pharmaceuticals that are out there. It's like, oh, if I'm taking that means my body is like actually being depleted of magnesium. Good to know. So there's definitely a connection. Yeah.
There's just need more education. They kind of look at me like, I didn't know any of this. You know, no one told me.
No one's teaching anyone.
And it's taboo to talk about it. So
That's right.
Yeah.
They have no one to talk to about it, really. Maybe a sister or a friend, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
Even going to a doctor. I mean, I'll never forget 30 years ago when I went, I was a girl that would poop maybe once a week. That's how I got into this industry. And he goes, I think you need to be put on anxiety medicine. And so he was telling me like, this is all in your head. And I'm thinking, listen, I'm pooping like maybe once a week. And no one talked about poop 30 years ago. Now, people are starting to talk about it and wake up. But I was like, oh my gosh. And that's why I found colon hydrotherapy. It changed my life. And it couldn't be any more organic. It's highly filtered water. And then that's when I got into the industry and created, Scottsdale Hydrotherapy, thinking we need to change the game here and make it clean, clinical, bougie, have a naturopathic doctor on site, do it the right way, educate, right? And we work with tons of doctors and naturopaths and, their clients are on protocols and coming to us. It's just been a beautiful thing. So it's pretty cool.
Well, congratulations to you and thank you for all the amazing work you're doing to help people feel better.
I thought of a name for your book.
Okay.
Poop. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
I was thinking of a t-shirt. The But First coffee t-shirts?
Yes.
But first poop.
Yes, that's cute. All of the things.
So anyways, you can send us a royalty check later. Well, thank you so much, Marina. This has been a pleasure. And thank you for sharing your story. And this, I know, will help a lot of people who are in their own journey. And that's what this is all about.
That's
For
right.
sure.
Thank you for having me on, you guys.